Welcome back to Phoenix College Softball Stadium as we've got Game 2 of the doubleheader between the Yavapai Roughriders and your Phoenix Bears. Joining you here with 2 outs into the inning, leadoff runner got on with a walk, and then Megan Kelly, the second batter of the inning, lined out to shortstop threw it over to first for the double play. And now we just got the third batter of the inning grounding to the second baseman over to first to end the inning. That was a quick recap of the top of the first there for you. Score remains 0-0. Into the break we go with the bottom of the first next. Alright, welcome you back here at Phoenix College Softball Stadium for the bottom of the first as Logan Stepp leads off the inning for the Bears. First pitch outside for ball 1. Logan coming off a monster game 1 as she finished out pitching the game the last 5 innings, recording a career high 11 strikeouts and in the batter's box getting a hit to lead to the Bears' comeback. She now steps in for game 2. Fouls that ball off to even the count at 1-1. That pitch comes in for ball 2. We had a very quick break here in between games as we are now into game 2 of this doubleheader. Game 1 won by the Bears by the score of 8-5. Bears got down in that game, took the lead in a big 5th inning, went on to win 8-5, and Steps hammers one out to center field, up against the wall, off the wall. She rounds first, and gets into second standing. Leadoff double there for Logan Stepp as she starts game 2, same way she ended game 1, on fire. As next, the Bears will bring number 27, Cheyenne Ben, to the plate. Ben came in to pinch hit in game 1. She's been on fire lately. She was unable to get a hit in that pinch hit appearance, but did later on in that game. Now she steps in as Stepp takes a big lead off second. First pitch is in for ball 1. Ben slashes one to the second baseman, who throws it to first, but the first baseman drops it, and Ben reaches on the error. First baseman seemed to be a pretty routine play. She did have to go down to the ground to make that catch, but ultimately dropped it, and Ben reaches on the error by the first baseman. So now the Bears will bring number 4, Asia Jones, who's been on fire lately, getting an RBI double in the first game that ultimately led to the Bears' comeback. Asia Jones, comes up with runners on first and third now, with still no outs in the inning. First pitch is in there for a strike, falls out the catcher's mitt, and Cheyenne Ben, with heads-up base running, gets down to second. That's huge there. Eliminates the thought of a double play, and with no outs in the inning, the Bears now have runners on second and third with no outs. Trying to start this game off well in the first inning, get on the board quickly. Second pitch is in there for a ball to even the count at 1-1. Jones fouls off the next pitch, making the count 1-2. She'll have to fight back in this at bat now. Out on the mound in game 2 of this doubleheader is Shia Romero, number 4 for the Roughriders. Next pitch is blooped in the infield, but it bounces. A weird hop gets by the second baseman, and Jones reaches. Meanwhile, Stepp comes in to score the first run of the game for the Bears. And Ben advances to third on the play. So an RBI infield single for Asia Jones. And the Bears are on the board 1-0. 1-0. Now into the batter's box comes number 8, Danitza Hernandez. Hernandez and Jones in the same 3-4 spots as they... Oh! She hits one deep into right center, and it's over the wall for a 3-run home run. Danitza Hernandez did the same back in game 1. Quite coincidental. Danitza Hernandez, second home run of the day, and the Bears have quickly grabbed a 4-0 lead early on in game 2 of this doubleheader. Here's the explosive, powerful offense we knew the Phoenix Bears could display. That was Hernandez's 9th home run of the season, now just one behind Bella Angelo for the team lead. Next into the batter's box comes number 18, Jenna Huey. Huey slaps one down the third base line to the wall. She rounds first, heads to second, and will get in standing for an RBI. For a double down the line, excuse me. These Bears bats have come out swinging in the first inning of this game 2 of the doubleheader. With 4 hits already, 4 runs, and a runner on second. And the Roughriders have yet to record an out. Next, Karen Meyer steps into the batter's box and takes strike 1. Meyer fouls the next pitch back. Got herself in an 0-2 count now. She'll have to fight back in this at-bat. Meyer in game 1 of this doubleheader only recorded 1 at-bat. She walked in 2 of her 3 official at-bats. And the one time she didn't walk, she did reach on a single. So she reached in all 3 at-bats in game 1 of this doubleheader. Now she steps in an 0-2 count. Romero with the pitch, and she slaps it into the left field gap, back to the wall. Huey will score. She rounds first and will get into second standing. Back-to-back doubles for the Bears, and they are in business. 5-0 the lead now for the Bears over the Roughriders in the first inning, and the Roughriders have yet to record an out. As the head coach will come out to the mound to settle down her young pitcher. As Shia Romero is a freshman, so she's young on the mound, trying to settle her down, give her some words of wisdom to try to help her get through this inning, get that first out of the way, and get her going. Romero does come into this game with a 17.4 ERA, so she has struggled this season trying to find her footing as a young freshman on this team. Next up, Kayla Miranda will come into the box for the Bears. She watches ball 1. With Meyer out at second base, she does have a runner in scoring position that she'll look to bring in. This is only Kayla's 7th game of the season with 11 at-bats. She has yet to record a hit, so we could be witnessing her first hit of her season. And she is a freshman, so it would be her first hit of her collegiate career. She watches ball 2, as now she is in a nice hitter's count. 2-0, we'll see what she looks to do here. Next pitch comes in and she fouls it away. Obviously given the green light there and a 2-0 hitter's count. Fouled it back to the backstop, as she'll look for the next pitch in her 2-1 count. Romero's pitch comes in. Kayla swings and foul tips it back to the backstop. She had a big swing there, swinging for the fences, trying to get that first hit and maybe even that first home run of the season. Nonetheless, the count goes even at 2-2, and we'll see what Romero has in store for Miranda in this 2-2 count. Pitch comes in as high, the ball gets away, and Mir at second advances to third. Looks like that was a bit of a wild pitch there, as it was high and away, bouncing off the glove of the catcher. Now with a full count, we'll see what's in store. As Romero gets ready to send the full count pitch, Romero sends it in, and it's low and away. Kayla Miranda draws a walk. Her fifth walk of the season, So even though she does not have a hit on the season, it seems she has been very patient at the plate and good plate awareness. So, the Roughriders have still yet to record an out, with the Bears putting 5 runs on the board, and they now have runners on first and third. As Sydney Hake steps into the box. She watches first pitch that comes in for a strike. is only Hake's 4th at-bat of the season. She fouls off the second pitch of the at-bat, bloops near the dugout, gets down for a foul ball. Count is now 0-2. In a bit of a hole here in her 4th at-bat of the season. She'll have to dig out of that hole. She does have 1 walk this season, so this is her 5th actual at-bat, but her 4th official at-bat. Looking for her 2nd hit of the season. Her first hit came on a double. Next pitch comes in, and she slashes it into center field. Center fielder got a late jump, and it gets down. Mir will score from second, and Miranda will get into second base safely. Hack gets into first with a single, little blooper into center field, and the Bears now lead 6-0, still without an out in the inning. Next up is Madison Garcia. Number 25, she's a freshman who this will be her 13th at-bat of the season, batting .333 on the season with 4 hits and 12 at-bats. Romero looks into the catcher and delivers. And Garcia bloops it down the third base line, but caught on the fly by the third baseman as the Roughriders finally record their first out of the inning. 6 runs in, and the Roughriders finally record that first out of the inning as the lineup turns back over to Logan Stepp. As Stepp steps into the box, Romero gets ready to deliver the first pitch to her. And Stepp swings at the first pitch, blooping it into left field, but nobody is able to get here. She reaches first, and everybody advances 1 base. Bases are now loaded for Cheyenne Ben. The first pitch comes in. Ben watches it outside for ball 1. Ben has been on quite a hot streak lately. She is currently on a 6-game hit streak, batting over .460 during that streak, and her season batting average is at .417. So just the person the Bears want up in this situation. Next pitch is inside but called strike 1. Evens the count at 1-1. Even though this Bears lineup is stacked throughout, just in front of the heart of the order, Cheyenne Ben is up in a massive situation here with the opportunity to break this game open if it hasn't been already. Next pitch comes in, and it seems to clip Ben off her inside kneecap, as that will reload the bases. Ben will get credited for an RBI as she gingerly walks down to first. That will make it now 7-0 Bears in just the first inning. Ben seems to be running off that hit by pitch, and it looks like she will tough it out and stay in the game. We love to see that as long as it's not endangering her health. The umpire wipes off home plate, getting ready for Asia Jones to step in. And if you thought Cheyenne Ben was hot, Asia Jones has been even hotter, as she's currently on only a 7-game hit streak, but hitting over 600 during that streak, with 11 hits in her at least 1 hit as she fouls the first pitch back. At least 1 hit in 11 of her last 12 games, and her season batting average is up over .450. Just incredible. Jones, the catcher behind the plate, gets ready to receive the next pitch from Romero. And Jones slaps it a little off the end of the bat that gets through the infield, but one run will score, and she is in first safely for an RBI single, which will reload the bases. That little bloop single that got through the shortstop and shortstop and third base gap will now bring up Danitza Hernandez, who had a 3-run homer earlier this game. Or I should say earlier this inning. First pitch is in there for a strike. Be quite the storyline here if Danitza Hernandez is able to add on to this already 8-0 lead in the first inning. As Romero looks in to get the pitch, delivers it. Danitza Hernandez sends one deep into left field again, but will be caught by the left fielder Sidney Jones. Runner from third will tag up and score on the sacrifice fly, adding to the lead 9-0 now for the Bears. That is the second out of the inning. So now, throughout this very long, important first inning, the Roughriders are now 1 out away from finally ending this inning. As Jenna Huey steps into the box, fresh off a double in her last at-bat, she comes out swinging but fouls it off her toe as she walks that one off. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Jenna Huey in a 0-1 count. Romero looking to get the final out of this long, stressful inning for her. Pitch is in. She lines it down the third base line, but just foul. Runners will retreat back to their bases as Huey gets back in the batter's box. As Romero gets set for the third pitch of this at-bat. She delivers, and Huey rips it into center field, over the center fielder's head, and over the wall for a 3-run home run to cap off this amazing 12-run first inning. Jenna Huey, fresh off a grand slam in Saturday's doubleheader, now just 3 days later in the doubleheader today, hits a 3-run home run for her 7th home run of the season. Bears have come out explosive and fiery on offense as they now lead 12-0, and we're going to get a pitching change. Shia Romero unable to get through the first inning, will have only pitched 2 outs, 2/3 of an inning, and will allow 12 runs. As the new pitcher
How's everything going? Are you on 100?
As the new pitcher comes in, we will take a quick break. We'll be right back. We welcome you back here to Phoenix College Softball Stadium as the new pitcher for the Yavapai Roughriders is Genevieve Espinoza, who finished out game 1 of this doubleheader, and she will begin her outing pitching to Karen Meyer, who earlier this inning had a double for herself. Second pitch to Meyer is low for ball 1 of the at-bat. Count is now even at 1-1. This has kind of been the story of the Rough Riders season. Pitching has struggled for the most part. They've had difficulty keeping those runners off the base path. As this third pitch gets popped up straight up in the air, shortstop calls everybody off and makes the play to end the first inning. So, 12 runs later and 3 outs later, the Bears have a 12-0 lead after just the first inning. Top of the second coming up next after this short break. As we welcome you back here to Phoenix College Softball Stadium. We begin the second inning with Sydney Hack on the mound for the Bears, and Darby Cramp, who grounds to the third baseman, but the throw gets away, and she advances to second base. Couple of wild throws there allowed Cramp to advance into second base as the leadoff batter this inning. Next to the plate will be Genevieve Espinoza. Who grounds one to the third baseman, looks the runner back to second base, and throws it to first for the first out of the inning. Nice play there by the third baseman. Next in to hit will be Allison Savage for the Rough Riders, as Sydney Hack gets ready to throw in the first pitch. First pitch is watched for the first strike. Second pitch is grounded up the middle, right back to the pitcher. 2 first for the out. On the play, the runner from second will advance to third, but now 2 outs in the inning. With that runner on third will be Amanda Pay coming into the plate to try to scratch across that first run of the game for the Rough Riders. as the umpire has some words with the coach. We get set back to resume play here. As the first pitch to Amanda Pay is in for, or the second pitch to Amanda Pay, my apologies, comes in for ball 2. Swinging away at the third pitch, she grounds it foul. Now 2-1 the count. Hake looking in for the pitch, and the next pitch is in for strike 2, evening the count at 2-2. Next pitch is grounded up the middle and past the shortstop, so that run from third will score. RBI single there for Amanda Pay to scratch across the first run of the game for the Roughriders to cut into that 12-run lead. Now it is 12-1, still the Bears on top. Next will be number 14, Brenna Langford, as she goes swinging after that off-speed pitch way out in front of that pitch from Hake. Brenna looks in, and the next pitch she smashes down the first base line, but just foul. Would have been extra bases if that stayed fair. The count now 0-2. She'll have to fight back in this at-bat. Next pitch again slapped down the first base line, but just foul, as now the count is 1-2. And she strikes out Brenna Langford to end the inning. The Roughriders scratch across 1 run in the inning, but the Bears remain up 12-1 after the top of the second. After this short break, we'll return for the bottom of the second inning. As we return back here to Phoenix College Softball Stadium, I welcome everybody back as we begin the bottom of the second with Kayla Miranda in the batter's box to lead off the inning. She swings and misses at the first pitch. Second pitch comes in. She watches that, low and away for ball 1. Back out on the mound is number 22, Genevieve Espinoza, who came in relief for Romero in the first inning to get that final out of the inning. As Espinoza looks in, Miranda swings and grounds that ball to third, over to first for the out. And there is out one of the inning, retiring the leadoff runner. Next up to the plate is number 2, Sidney Hake, also the pitcher for the Bears in this matchup. Romero comes in with the pitch. Espinoza comes in with the pitch. And it is strike 1. As Espinoza looks in, the pitch comes in, and she fouls it back behind the press box. As the count now goes to 0-2. Hake is going to need to fight back in this at-bat, as she's down 0-2. Next pitch comes in low for ball 1 of the at-bat. Coming off that explosive first inning with 12 runs, Roughriders are looking for a shutdown inning here from Espinoza as the next pitch comes in inside for ball 2. Evening the count now. Hake has done a good job of fighting back in this at-bat, trying to help her team out on the offensive side as she is on the mound. Next pitch comes in. Low, gets past the catcher with no runners on base. No real hurry. That is ball 3, pushing it to a full count. See what Hake has in store for us as the wind picks up here in her second at-bat, as she singled on her at-bat back in the first inning. Pitch comes in. Hake swings and lines it into left field for a nice solid single. Ball hit hard, but right to the left fielder. Otherwise, in a gap, would have been definitely extra bases. But regardless, Hake gets on with her second single of the day, bringing up number 22, Madison Garcia. Garcia, the right fielder today for the Bears. As Espinoza looks in, the first pitch nails Garcia on the helmet. Garcia gives a little sly smile to the dugout and trots down to first base. Looks to be all right after that hit. As next, that will bring up the leadoff hitter, Logan Stepp, back to the plate for her third at-bat of the game already in just the second inning. And once again, new pitcher, same results. The Bears have runners on first and second with only one out in the top of the lineup. Looks like Madison Garcia will be okay to stay in the game after getting hit in the pitch by the pitch in the helmet. She'll remain on first. As Logan steps into the box. Espinoza delivers, and Stepp pops it up down the third base line, foul. But none of the fielders able to get to it. It will drop in for a harmless foul ball. As the count goes to 0-1. Stepp playing center field in the second game of this doubleheader. As mentioned before, Stepp had quite the game one, setting a career high in strikeouts and pitching 5 great innings to allow the Bears to come back. Second pitch of this at-bat will be fouled up in nearly the same spot, this time just over the dugout, where the fielders are not quite able to get to it, as the count goes to 0-2 now. As Espinosa gets ready for the third pitch of this at-bat, she delivers, and it's high and outside for ball one of the at-bat. Good eye by Step there. The fourth pitch of the bat coming up. She delivers, and Step swings and fouls it to the backstop. Continuing to stay alive in this at-bat with a runner in scoring position and one more at first. Sydney Hake out at second base and Madison Garcia on first by the hit by pitch. Step has a 1-2 count with one out in the inning, trying to extend this 12-1 lead, and the pitch comes in and she lines it down the first base line, bobbled for a minute but able to recover and get the out at first. The runners do advance, so it is a productive out there for Step. As now runners are on second and third with 2 outs as Cheyenne Ben comes to the plate. First pitch comes in low for ball one. Throughout that explosive first inning, Cheyenne Ben came to the plate twice and reached both times, but did not record a hit in that first inning. Reached on an error her first time up, and then was hit by pitch the second time. So she is looking for a hit to extend that hitting streak she has going. Second pitch comes in, and she pops it up over the dugout for a foul ball. Umpire coming over to the dugout to get some extra softballs, as we have had a lot of foul balls in this doubleheader today. Both offenses have been making the pitchers work. Foul balls left and right, staying in counts, raising that pitch count. As we get ready back to resume play, Cheyenne Ben in a 1-1 count. Espinosa delivers, and Ben swings and grounds it down the third base line over to first for the out to end the inning. Just one run across here in the second inning, despite trouble and threat for more. The Bears do not score any here in the inning. So the score remains 12-1 Bears. Back for the top of the third in a minute. Welcome you back here to Phoenix College Softball Stadium as Sydney Jones steps in the box to lead off the inning for the Roughriders. Sydney Hake back out on the mound for her third inning of work. Sydney Jones watches the first 2 pitches, which are both called strikes, and has herself in an 0-2 hole early on. She lines this ball out to left field, but tracked down by the left fielder for out number 1. That was Brianna Gainey out there in left that made the play. Now the leadoff batter, Maritza Salea, steps into the box with 1 out away in the inning. As Hake looks in, she delivers. Salea fouls that one back as the count goes to 2-1. Salea walked in her first at-bat back in the first inning. Looking to add on to that. Next pitch is slapped down the line, third base line, in for a single. Gainey gets to it quickly, though, to hold her to a single. Little blooper over the third baseman's head that dropped in. Nice piece of hitting there and placement there by Salea. Next, Megan Kelly steps into the box for the Rough Riders. First pitch is taken high and away for ball 1. In her first at-bat, she lined out to the third baseman, who then threw it back to first for the double play. Unorthodox double play, but nonetheless. She grounds one to the third baseman again. to second, back to first. She is safe at first, but gets the lead runner at second. That was the first out of the inning. So now Tori will come up to the plate with Megan Kelly on first base after Salea was out at second. 1 out, runner on first. She takes first pitch for ball 1. Next pitch comes in, down the middle for the first strike of the at-bat. 1-1 the count now, even. Next pitch comes in, and it is in there for strike 2. Count now 1-2. Is going to have to battle back in this at-bat. Hake gets ready to deliver the next pitch, and it is reached out for and slapped foul down the first base line. Nice defensive hitting there by Tori as she made sure she got the bat out there and got some contact on it to stay alive in this at-bat. Next pitch is in there low for ball 2. Evening the count now. Way to fight back in the at-bat by Tori Next pitch is grounded up the middle. A diving play by the shortstop to second, but not in time as the runner at second is safe. It's a fantastic diving play up the middle by the shortstop, Karen Meyer. Her only play was to second, as the runner at first would have gotten there in time. But the runner from second was able to get there in time, but regardless, the effort was there. Nice play by Karen Meyer to keep the ball in the infield. Next up, the first pitch to number 18, Darby Cramp. Her first at bat. She got on with a single and later scored as the Rough Riders' only run of this game. in a 2-0 count now. Pitch is delivered, and it's high for ball 3. Hake falling behind in this at-bat, 3-0. She'll look to get that first strike in there to get back in this at-bat. And the 4th pitch comes in for ball 4, a 4-pitch walk. The bases are now loaded for Genevieve Espinoza, as the Roughriders will try to start a little rally here to cut into this 11-point deficit. First pitch to Genevieve Espinoza is low for ball 1. That is 5 straight balls now for Hake. She looks in, gets the signal, is ready for the next pitch. Espinoza lines it up the middle to the wall. She rounds first into second for a 2 RBI double. Runners from second and third coming in to score to cut into that 11-run deficit. Score now 12-3 as 2 runs came in to score. That was all with 2 outs, as now Allison Savage will step into the box with runners on second and third and 2 outs, trying to come up with those 2-out RBI as she slaps it down the first base line, but the first baseman gobbles it up and gets over to first to end the inning. Despite 3 runs coming across, the Bears hold on to a 12-3 lead going into the bottom of the 3rd inning. We'll be right back. Welcome you back here to Phoenix College Softball Stadium as we begin the bottom of the 3rd. As Asia Jones leads off. First pitch to her is ball 1. As Espinoza returns to the mound after her 2 RBI double to bring her Roughriders a little closer. Second pitch to Jones is outside for ball 2. It looked close, but the umpire says it is ball 2. Third pitch into Jones is inside as well. Ball 3 of the at-bat. 3-0 count to begin the inning for the leadoff hitter, Asia Jones. And finally there is strike 1 as Espinoza delivers the 4th pitch of the at-bat right down the middle. As now Jones has a hitter's count in 3-1. See if she gets the green light to swing away. The pitch comes in, and Jones swings away, grounds it hard to the third baseman, who throws across to the first baseman. First baseman digs it out of the dirt for out 1. Nice play there by both the third baseman and the first baseman, digging that ball out of the dirt. The leadoff runner is put away to start the bottom of the third inning. Nice way to start it off there for Espinoza, as Danitza Hernandez steps into the box. First pitch to Hernandez is high and inside for ball 1. Next pitch from Espinoza comes in, and Jones fouls it way back as the count evens up at 1-1. As Espinoza looks in to get the pitch for the next one, she delivers, and Jones watches it high for ball 2. 2-1 the count now, as Jones got a single back in the, actually got 2 singles back in the first inning, and recorded 2 RBIs as well. Now in that was H. Jones. Hernandez had that massive 3-run home run back in the first inning, and later on in the inning collected a sacrifice fly as well, with 4 RBIs in that first inning. Now in her third at bat, that last pitch was called a ball as well, so now she's in a 3-1 hitter's count. We'll see what she decides to do with this, see if Espinoza gives her anything to hit. Espinoza delivers, and Hernandez watches strike 2. She looks a little suspicious of that last strike call, but nonetheless makes the count full now. Full count. The pitch comes in, and Hernandez fouls it back, staying alive in this at-bat, following the theme of the day of many, many foul balls throughout this whole day, making the pitchers work. As Espinoza looks in to get the pitch ready, she delivers, and Hernandez watches ball 4 in the dirt as she draws a walk. Now with Hernandez on first base with 1 out in the inning, number 18 Jenna Huey steps into the box. She had a double back in the first inning, eventually scoring. She comes into the third. First pitch is way inside. Huey turns away from it as ball 1 comes in. Second pitch gets past the catcher, and Hernandez advances to second. Ball 2. Now Huey in a 2-0 count, looking to do damage and add on to this 9-run lead here in the third inning. With Hernandez out on second base in scoring position, Huey is hitting a very solid .327 on the year with 23 RBIs and 6 homers. Slugging percentage near 700 as the next pitch comes in. Huey slams this down the third base line, but foul and out of play. Now on a 2-1 count, still a hitter's count, We'll see what both Espinoza decides to throw at her and how Huey approaches this count. Next pitch comes in, and Huey lines it towards the third baseman, gets past her. Hernandez rounds third, comes in to score, and Huey gets to second on the throw. Very, very hard hit ball over to the third baseman underneath her glove. I'm sure that will be ruled as a single, as that was a very difficult play to make. But regardless, gets underneath her glove. Hernandez heads up base running, gets around third, comes home to score, gives that RBI to Jenna Huey as Huey gets into second. Now that brings in Karen Meyer, who also doubled back in the first inning, as the first pitch to her is high and inside as well. Huey and Meyer both went back-to-back with doubles back in the first inning. We'll see what Meyer has in store for us now. Second pitch comes in for ball 2. Now Huey in a very nice hitter's count. See what she decides to do here with the bat. Pitch comes in. Myers, it's a short grounder down the third base line, over to first for the out. Meanwhile, heads up base running by Huey as she gets from second to third after cramp the third baseman, threw it over to first for the out. Now with two outs in the inning, the Bears will have Kayla Miranda step into the box. As I mentioned earlier, she does not have a hit on the season, so she can come through here. She will not only record her first hit of her season and career, seeing as she's a freshman, but also her first RBI. First pitch to her is high as well. 3 straight first pitch high pitches for balls for pitcher Espinoza. And she hits one into center field and over the shortstop's head, down for a hit. And she will record her first hit of her career and season and her first RBI as Jenna Huey comes in to score from third. Great piece of hitting there by Kayla Miranda. Just getting a bat on the ball. Didn't hit it hard, didn't hit it far, but placed it perfectly, extending the Bears' lead to 13-3. Now, Sydney Hake, the pitcher for the Bears today, will step into the box. First pitch to her is straight to the shortstop, Tori Ah, who makes the final out of the inning to end the inning. So, through 3 innings, Phoenix adds 1 more run, growing their lead to 13-3. We will be back after this short break for the top of the 4th. back here to Phoenix College Softball Stadium as we get set here for the fourth inning as the leadoff batter for the Roughriders slices a single up the middle to get on base. The next batter does the exact same thing through the same spot, right up the middle, and 2 pitches into the inning. The Roughriders have runners on first and second, no outs in the inning. As Sydney Jones comes to the plate, she laces one through the short and third base hole, but Brianna Gainey gets to it quickly as she holds the runner at third. But 3 pitches into the inning, the Roughriders have the bases loaded with no outs. Looks like now the pitcher, Sydney Hake, is signaling to the dugout that she is ready to change. As we will have a pitching change coming up, and we will get you back from the break when we return. Welcome back to Phoenix College Softball Stadium as the new pitcher on the mound for your Phoenix Bears is numbered 16, Alexis Eiersman. Eiersman statistically is the Bears' best pitcher as she settles in a bit of a pickle here in the fourth. She comes in with the bases loaded and no outs, with the leadoff hitter Maritza Celea up to bat. First pitch to her is a strike. Second pitch on the way is outside for ball 1. Eiersman on the season has a 2.36 ERA, the best on the pitching staff for the team, and has pitched the most innings at 32 2/3 innings pitched. We'll see if she can manage her way out of this situation here as the next pitch is slapped to the shortstop. She goes home for the force and gets it. So perfectly drawn up there as the first out of the inning comes as the shortstop gets it to the catcher for the force at home as the bases remain loaded but no runs come across. Next up for the Roughriders is number 5 center fielder Megan Kelly. She comes up with 1 out on the bases loaded, and the first pitch is off the catcher's glove. All the runners are advancing, and the throw home is too late. So on the wild pitcher pass ball, however that may be scored, 1 run comes in for the Roughriders, as now runners are on second and third with 1 out, as the pitch is grounded down the third base line but just foul. The third pitch of the at-bat is hammered foul, popped up high in the air, but too far for all the outfielders to converge on. Irishman comes in trying to work her way out of this difficult situation. Has gotten one out, now has a 1-2 count on Megan Kelly. Trying to get the punch out to hold the runners on second and third. Pitch comes in and is low and away for ball 2 to even the count at 2-2. The next pitch comes in high as well, pushes the count full now, as Megan Kelly has worked a full count now. Irishman will look to find that put-away pitch. This pitch comes in, swing and a miss. Huge strikeout there for Irishman. She's one out away from working through this inning, with only allowing that one run that came on the wild pitch. Next up for the Roughriders is Tori Ah, who made nice plays on the defensive side of the ball in that last inning. First pitch to her is high and inside for ball 1. Next pitch to Ah is outside again, 2-0 the count now. Irishman really needs to focus in here, try to get this final out, work herself back into this at-bat, secure that final out to not allow any more runs here to come across for the Roughriders. There she goes with a strike in there for strike 1. Count now sits at 2-1. Next pitch comes in and swings and misses. Strike 2. Count now even at 2. Huge pitch there by Irishman. See where she goes here now to try to punch out Tori Ah. So an off-speed pitch that's slapped into center, gets down for a hit. 1 run scores. Ball gets corralled by the catcher, and is limited to a single. But 1 run does come in on the RBI single by Tori Ah. As the Roughriders cut into the lead, now 14-5. Next up is number 18, third baseman Darby Cramp. First pitch to her is watch for strike 1. Next pitch is popped up just beyond the infield, but shortstop Karen Meyer gets under it to end the inning. Nice work there by Irishman, allowing just 2 runs. One of which was unearned. Well, they were both unearned for her, but one of them was unearned on that wild pitch. The Roughriders get back within 9. 14-5 is your score through 3.5 innings here at Phoenix College Softball Stadium. We'll be back after this break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Phoenix College versus Yavapai College. The Roughriders and the Bears are in the second game of their doubleheader here, as Phoenix leads 14-5 in the bottom of the fourth inning. Leading off for Phoenix in the bottom of the fourth is number 25 right fielder Madison Garcia, as she took that first pitch for strike one. Second pitch comes in low and in the dirt for ball one, as the count evens at 1-1. Back out on the mound for the Roughriders is number 22 Genevieve Espinoza. Espinoza came in to relieve Romero in that first inning and has pitched the second and third inning and now begins this fourth inning. The pitch into Garcia skips and then hits her in the leg as she'll trot down to first with the hit by pitch. Her second of the game. Back in the second inning, she was hit by a pitch on the helmet. So she's now reached base all 3 times today. Single in the first, hit by pitch in the second, and now a hit by pitch once again in the fourth inning. Now the leadoff hitter, Logan Stepp, will step her way back into the box, as the first pitch to her is lined through the middle for a single. Garcia will hold at second, as that was pretty viciously hit through the middle, not allowing her to get around second and head over to third. But the Bears are back in business, as they have been frequently throughout game 2 of this doubleheader. The runners on first and second, no outs in the inning, and Cheyenne Ben up to bat. First pitch to Ben is popped up foul. Third baseman Cramp is under it and secures it. Out one of the inning off a foul out by Cheyenne Ben. Next steps into the box is number 22. Excuse me for a minute. That is number 22, Sydney Stapleton, who is pinch hitting for Asia Jones. Stapleton watches first pitch for a ball. She watches the second pitch for a ball as well, getting herself into a nice 2-0 hitter's count. This is Stapleton's third at-bat of the season. She is the backup catcher behind Asia Jones, who starts most of the games. With this game at 14-5, getting a chance to do her thing as she lines one into the gap, down for a hit. Runner coming around third will score, and there goes Stapleton. She was 0 for 2 on the year, gets her first hit of the season and of her career as she's a freshman, and her first RBI. What a hit for Stapleton. Now, still with no outs in the inning, Stapleton extends the Bears' lead to 15-5, back to that 10-run lead. Now with runners on first and second, Denitza Hernandez steps into the box and takes strike one. Second pitch to Denitza Hernandez is absolutely smoked foul. That ball was in the playing field. It would have been hitting green grass. No way an outfielder would have caught up to that one. Just needs to get her timing a little better, and that ball is extra bases. Regardless, though, now she's in a 0-2 count. She'll have to fight her way back in the at-bat. Third pitch of the at-bat to Denitza Hernandez is smoked foul once again. Hernandez is ready for whatever it is Espinoza is throwing her way. She needs to straighten that out, and she'll have extra bases. Fourth pitch of the at-bat in the 0-2 count comes in and hits Hernandez, as now the bases will be reloaded as she trots down to first. Coming up with the bases loaded will be Jenna Huey. Huey had a double in her first at-bat and later singled in the third. She is 2 for 2 today with a double and a single. Now comes up with the bases loaded. Opportunity to get herself some more RBIs. Swings at the first pitch, line to the first baseman, back home for the force. Nice play there by Cramp to Langford as the Roughriders infield works together to get the force out and keep another run from going up on the board. Score remains 15-5. That was a second out of the inning. And now the umpires are congregating, and it looks like Huey was called out at first for some reason. Coach is having a discussion with the umpires now, and they'll now come together and discuss what the outcome will be. Initially, both teams were headed to the dugout because the umpire signaled that Huey would be out at first base. Unsure of the reason why. After they discuss it, they do call that Huey is safe at first. And Karen Meyer will return to the batter's box. She comes up with 2 outs and the bases loaded now. As now the Yavapai coach comes out of the dugout to understand why the umpires had the sudden change of thought of why Huey is now safe at first. After discussion, the Yavapai coach returns to the dugout, and we are set to resume play with Karen Meyer in the batter's box. 15-5, 2 outs and bases loaded in the bottom of this 4th inning. Karen Meyer steps into the box with a chance to explode this game for the Bears. Swings at the first pitch, lines it down the third base line, bobbles it, then tries to step on third with that being her only play, but was not in time. Great base running by Denitza Hernandez over there, going full effort into third, safe, earning her teammate Karen Meyer an RBI infield single. The lead now up to 16-5 as Kayla Miranda steps in and lines a single into left field. Two runs come around to score, and she gets into first safely with a 2 RBI single for her first hit of her career. First hit, first RBI. What an at-bat for Kayla Miranda. She came into the box ready to hit, ambush that first pitch, and got what she was expecting. Lead now up to 17-5. As Sydney Hake steps back into the box. Alexis Eiersman, as she replaced Hake back in the last half inning. Alexis Eiersman steps into the box, and despite not having very many at-bats, Eiersman has been very productive as she's hitting .545 on the year. She watches the first 2 pitches, which are both called strikes, as I was saying, Iresman is 6 for 11 on the season, batting .545 and a .909 slugging percentage. The third pitch to Iresman is just off the inside corner for ball 1. And the fourth pitch of the at-bat is on the inside corner for the strikeout looking. Espinoza ends the inning with a strikeout, but the Bears do get 4 runs across, extend their lead to 18-5, headed into the top of the 5th. 3 outs away from a 5-inning run rule. We'll return after this short break. Welcome back to Phoenix College Softball Stadium as return for the top of the 5th inning. Alexis Iresman back on the mound, and number 22, Genevieve Espinoza, the pitcher for the Roughriders, leads off the inning, fouling back the first pitch of the at-bat. Second pitch comes in, and she dribbles it to the second baseman, who makes the play on the run but throws it wide. It gets past the first baseman, and Espinoza advances to second. Error throw there, but it would have been a difficult play nonetheless. Now Espinoza standing on second base as Allison Savage steps into the batter's box. Savage 0 for 2 on the day. Looking for her first hit. Grounds it past the pitcher to the second baseman, who this time makes the running play for the first out of the inning. Espinoza does advance to third on the play. Iresman now just 2 outs away from completing the 10-run rule in the 5th inning. Next into the batter's box comes Amanda Pay, who watches ball 1 of the at-bat. Pay is 2 for 2 today with 2 singles. The second pitch of the at-bat comes in, and she watches it from ball 2. The third pitch of the at-bat gets away from the catcher, but she hustles, gets back to it, and returns it to the pitcher before the runner from third could attempt to advance home. 1 out runner on third. In a 3-0 count is Amanda Pay, looking to have a productive at-bat here, driving in that runner from third. Next pitch is in there for a strike one of the at-bat. Nice pitch there for Irisman to get back at the at-bat. Next pitch is fouled back. Puts the count full now. Irisman working her way back into the count nicely here. With the full count pitch, she lines it over the right fielder's head all the way to the wall. She rounds first, heads for second, and gets in standing. A 1-out RBI double for Amanda Pay, her third hit of the game. Catcher comes out to the mound to talk with her pitcher, Alexis Irisman. They try to settle her down, let her know that one run's across, but you still, as long as you don't allow another two, finish this inning and you complete the game for a run rule win. Amanda Pay with her first double of the season on that last RBI double, hitting .296 on the season, with her second RBI of the season as well. Now stepping into the box is Brenna Langford, who has a single and a strikeout in the game. Irisman with the pitch. Langford swings and misses at the first pitch of the at-bat. This is an important batter for Irisman, as she can get this second out of the inning. She'll be 1 out away from completing this game. Next pitch is in, and Langford swings and fouls it back. Now in an 0-2 count, we'll see how Irisman elects to treat Langford in the box, trying to find that put-away pitch. Pitches in, and Langford swings and fouls that one back as well. As I keep saying, it's the theme of the day. These foul balls, batters in the batter's box are not going down easy. Making the pitchers work, bringing those pitch counts up, fighting in their at-bats. As Langford steps back in the batter's box, ready for the next pitch. Irisman looks in, gets the pitch, and delivers. Langford watches this one down and away for ball number 1. Top of the 5th inning here in Phoenix College Softball Stadium, as the Phoenix Bears have an 18-5 lead. 18-6 lead, excuse me. And with the 5th pitch of that at-bat, she lines one down the third base line and foul.
Is correct. Multiple culture food because from Middle East. But I don't want to say from Middle East. I said multiple. Or multicultural or what? Multiple is correct.
Yeah, I'll help you after this one. As the head coach comes out to have a conversation with his starting pitcher, we'll go to a break and we'll be right back. As we get you back here, as Brenna Langford lines one down the line for a single. Next into the box is Sydney Jones. Jones is 1 for 2 on the day with a fly out and a single. Second pitch to Jones just swung on and missed, as Irisman is now ahead of her 0-2. We're having a little difficulty with the camera with the wind here. I apologize, but we'll have it ready for you in just moments. Next pitch is fouled back as Sydney Jones fouls off the pitch and stays alive in the at-bat. With Langford's hit in between the first and second base hole, the Roughriders now have runners on first and third with only one out. Sydney Jones lined that ball into her own dugout, sending the coaches sprinting away. Just Fowler, that would have been extra bases for her. Next pitch to Jones is called strike 3. What a pitch. Strike 3, and Sydney Jones just struck out looking. Irisman now just 1 out away from completing this 5-run rule 5th inning victory. But it won't be easy, as she'll have to get out the leadoff hitter, Maritza Salea, as the final out, who swings at the first pitch, lines it down the third base line, but just foul. Brianna Gainey was there just in case to retrieve the ball, but it did bounce foul. So nonetheless, it will just end up a 0-1 count. Next pitch to Salea is swung on and missed. Now an 0-2 count. Irisman is 1 strike away from finishing this game. Salea watches that next pitch for ball 1 of the at-bat. Good eye there, not to be swinging crazy as the game is on the line. He swings and lines that ball past the second baseman into center field, as the runner is now caught up between second and third and tagged out to end the game. What a play by the middle infield. Center fielder gets it into the second baseman over to the third baseman, Hernandez, and tagged out to end the game. That will end it here as Phoenix College prevails 18-5. Got started in the first inning with a massive 12-run inning. Everybody in the lineup getting involved and being productive. That'll cap off our doubleheader here at Phoenix College Softball Stadium as the Phoenix Bears defeat the Yavapai Roughriders in the sweep. First game 8-5, game 2 18-5 by the run rule in the 5th inning. Thank you for listening, and tune in for our next game.